everyone, school is in session.
Not yet. We just got here. We want to play for a while. Who made you the teacher?
Fishes, focus please. Vacation is necessary for your survival.
Oh, but it's summertime. Cool out. Maybe we should just look for a job. A job? Great, in the Kelp wanted section.
As we were saying, in the Kelp forest, school is always in session. Even in summer, the northwesterly winds continue to blow and deep cold water continues to rise, bringing a steady supply of nutrients to the Kelp forest.
Yummy, turn on the nutrients.
Nutrients are like kelp plants, silly.
Right. By summer, the young kelp plants have reached the surface, and the surviving kelp plants from the year before have lush new growth.
The kelp is certainly looking healthy.
You can see how the kelp spreads across the surface, creating a thick canopy.
Like a giant awning.
I guess we don't need our sunscreen.
Once again, the kelp forest floor is shaded, and grows the plants on the forest floor slopes.
What's happening higher up near the surface of the water?
Other seaweeds called epiphytes attach to blades and stipes of giant kelp, taking advantage of their descending position near the surface.
All this education is great, but what about lunch? We're going to hungry rockfish find a tasty snack.
Good question. Far below the surface, do you see the root-like holdfast? They become great homes to secretive animals like brittle stars, shrimps, and worms.
Shrimp? Did somebody say shrimp?
What are you waiting for? Let's go down deeper.
It certainly is busy down on the forest floor.
Hey, look, there's a sea urchin. How did it get so big?
In the summer, I began to grow faster with increased abundance. Of my favorite food. How do you get kelp? I broken with the seaweed as it drifts by, but some of us scrapes and burn kelp.
Look, it's a sea otter.
He's prying an urchin off a rock.
He's heading toward the surface. Let's follow him.
Look at what he's doing to get the urchin.
He's swimming on his back, smashing the urchin shell against a rock balanced on his belly.
I love some juicy insides of a sea urchin. This one made me as my diet.
Looks like the exercise wore him out.
He's wrapping himself in a kelp from deep and drifting away while he takes a nap.
What's that strange creature over there in the kayak?
That's a human. Watch out for him.
I don't think he's interested in us. He seems to be enjoying himself just watching the sleeping otter while he paddles through the forest.
Swim is bothered by the surface. How come?
When warm moist air moving across the Pacific Ocean meets cool upward water, it is suddenly cold.
So, what does that have to do with it?
The cooling causes water vapor in the air to condense rather than coast with thick fog.
The humans on the shore don't seem to like the fog very much.
He probably won't. Fog makes it hard for these sources to enjoy the coast.
So the fog, if it's bad for humans, it's good for fish.
It's good for every creature in the kelp forest. It protects the lush kelp canopy from overheating.
Well, there certainly is a lot of kelp. It's there and there and there.
The kelp grows much faster than it can ever be used, and is mostly eaten after breaking off the plant.
What happened to the kelp?
Some kelp lives offshore where it becomes a welcome habitat for juvenile fishes seeking shelter in the open ocean.
You mean like some of our younger relatives?
Exactly. Meanwhile, lots of kelp blades and fronds wash ashore. Others sink to the bottom.
What happened to the sunken kelp?
Some of the sunken kelp is eaten by herbivores, but most of it decomposes into tiny pieces called detritus.
Decomposed particles of death.
Detritus?
Decomposed particles of death.
What use of that?
Detritus
Decomposed particles of death.
is eaten by deposit-feeding animals.
Which animals? Any tasty snacks like sugar jellies?
Yum, I'm still hungry.
What about the sea cucumber with its row of sticky particles between the forest floor?
Sea cucumber? No thanks, I'm not in the mood for a salad. Certainly has a lot of kelp, and it's huge. Can we use any of it?
Sure, in some areas, huge boats harvest giant kelp for useful products like algae and agar, which are used in candy and ice cream as thickening agents.
I've seen enough of these humans. Can we go down below again?
Sure, maybe we'll bump into something to eat.
the diver.
Don't ask me. I've never met one.
Humans seem to be having a problem. Keep on bumping into things.
Scuba divers are sometimes disappointed to find that it's harder to see underwater.
Why can't they see? I don't have any problem.
The phytoplankton turns the water is so thick that it turns the water murky.
There are a lot of tiny plants around.
Right. But the zooplankton will continue to thrive on this sea stuff.
I mean, all those tiny drifting animals?
Right. The zooplankton will reduce the amount of phytoplankton as the summer progresses.
So does this zooplankton just drift in the kelp forest forever?
Some of the zooplankton drift for a lifetime. Some are only part-time plankton.
Part-time? What do you mean part-time?
The young states of many bottom dwellers like crabs, sea stars, worms, and snails drift for a while before settling down to adult life on the bottom.
That zooplankton looks pretty tasty.
It is. Lots of small fish near the kelp graze on zooplankton.
I see a couple of fish over there eating zooplankton.
You better watch out. It could be the next time to fight squid, larger fish, seabirds, or seals.
There's a seal over there. Hey, it's going after a fish. Watch out, fish.
Watch out, fish!
Too late. You know the kelp forest is a pretty dangerous place to fish.
Dangerous but tempting. Very tempting.
What do you mean?
With the kelp forest at its richest, fish gather in great numbers, and then bigger fish move in to eat the smaller ones.
It's a fishy fish world!
It's not just other fish. Great blue herons can be seen walking on the floating kelp levee, spearing any fish that swims to them on the surface.
Herons that
Not just herons, terns and brown pelicans can be seen feeding near the kelp forest. They spot their fish dinner from the sky, then dive bomb them from the sky.
turns to pelicans. That's even worse.
And then there are the fishing boats that anchor themselves near the kelp beds.
Humans, the worst of all! The world is ending!
Kelp seals stock kelp beds to catch fish, but sometimes fall prey to the fish themselves.
How can a harvey seal fall prey to a fish?
Not just any old fish. Great white sharks cruise by the kelp forest looking for large fish or unwary seals.
Hey, what do you get from a bad-tempered shark?
What?
As far away as possible.